Well, we've found the sunshine yet again. This is amazing. And we've come very much upmarket. We're not into the Waitrose. Here we are, Wheaton's. I've not heard of them before, but it's a very upmarket supermarket, restaurant, and a garden centre. We are in, well, I'll give you a clue. What 3 words is quiet, deal, jazz? So if you want to look that one up yourself, I'll give you a clue later on, so don't worry about it. But just think, North Yorkshire, upmarket, you'll probably get the one. So we're here to have a look what's happening with the Tesla chargers. This is open to all, and what's happening here is really interesting. So let's go and have a look there. Now, this is an open-to-all Tesla Supercharger. Loads of them about 1,200 chargers throughout the country. This one is a very busy one. This is a superbly busy car park, great location for it, garden centre and everything, so you're going to be here a little while. So lovely location. Only 6 chargers here. And what this one's showing up, being open to all, is which cars have the charging port on the left, rear, and which have it on the right. It's interesting here that there are more cars, non-Teslas, which have the charging port on the right, and they're all having to use the wrong charger, which means everyone shuffles up one and we've lost one charger. Really fascinating to see. But what's also fascinating, we've got a Kia, we've got a Tesla, we've got a Genesis, we also have a Polestar. There's a huge choice here. This is great for me because so often I just have a look and the Tesla ones, it's just all Teslas and we've seen them all before. But this is really throwing up one of those anomalies. I'm going to have a look at that here. There's nobody in the car. We don't normally like filming people, but you'll see what we mean here. What we have here is a Hyundai which has the charging port on the right hand side. So normally Teslas are left hand side, and so this one is using that one, which would normally be for this one. So this one unfortunately doesn't have a charger because that one's using the other charger. And what it means is we've got a mix of right-hand and left-hand charging ports, and that just throws chaos into a relatively small charging location like this. So out of 6 chargers, we've got 1, 2, 3, that one can't charge, 4, that one can't, 5. So we only have 5 cars can charge here at this time, even though the bay is full, and we're now starting to build up a little bit of a queue as well. But this is one of the problems. You see, the Polestar's great. It's got the charging port on the left-hand side, exactly the same as all the Teslas. So these 2, that's mine at the end, I am charging here. These 2 are great. This one, Tesla, obviously charging port on the left-hand side. But then if we skip one, the Genesis is on the right-hand side, and that's throwing in the problem. So we actually lose one of the bays here. When I arrived earlier, there were actually 3 cars in a row, all with the charging bays on the right-hand side, and that lost one at the end as well. So really strange arrangement, but it's great because the reason this one's so busy all comes down to price. And when we look at the price, we're at peak time at the moment, it's middle of the day, so it's peak time. And when we look at the non-Teslas, the Polestar, the Genesis and the Hyundai Ioniq 5, they're paying a grand total of 54 pence per kilowatt hour. And that's not a bad rate when you look at GridServe at 82 and InstaVolt at 87 and Shell Recharge at 89p. 54 here at peak time is really quite a good rate. For the Teslas, we obviously get the Tesla rate, and this currently, peak time, 37 pence. And so when people talk about Tesla open to all, it's a world apart from what you normally find. 37 pence. If you come here off peak, it's 37, it's 28p off peak. Crazy rates. That's about the same rate as your electricity domestic tariff at home without any special EV tariff. So this is the reason why it's so popular, is just it's a really amazing price, but it's also a great location. This is one you can stop, and in 30-40 minutes at the most you could do your shopping, fill your car up and be on your way at about half the price that you could at most other chargers. Now, Tesla's not the only one, but they are very keen on idle fees. And idle fees are really simple. So the first thing to know about an idle fee is if you're charging your car, you can never be charged an idle fee. It's as simple as that. If your car is charging, you can't be charged an idle fee. So it doesn't matter how fast or slow your car charges at, it won't get an idle fee. Where the idle fees come in are to try and keep the throughput. So once your car has finished charging, oh, we got Insta. I want to go and have a look at that one in a minute. Once the car has finished charging and the charger switches off, if you don't move your car within about 5 minutes, that's when they start applying idle fees. And in my opinion, quite right. If this car has finished charging, and I suspect it might have done because it's been here a long time, it's been here ever since we've been here, and I can't believe it's still charging. But if you have finished charging, move your car. There's loads of parking spaces, so consequently you can just go somewhere else. And we're getting a bit of a shuffle round here. Again, this is the right and the left charging, so it's a really weird situation. But I have a feeling that this one has probably been here too long, may not be aware of idle fees. Now, let me put this into perspective. The idle fees at Tesla, they are rigorously obeyed, and they are non-voluntary. In other words, if you've used a debit or credit card to pay for this, they can take the idle fees automatically. You've got no say in it. And the idle fees here are £1 a minute, as they are at all Tesla chargers. So it's really, really draconian. If you've gone shopping, forgot about it for half an hour, it's 30 quid. So any savings you might make, gone instantly. So you really do need to be aware of this. Now, I am just going to point out, you probably saw it in the background while I was talking, but we had cars here and they were arranged in such a way that one car couldn't charge at all. And they talked to each other and they both agreed, well, let's shift the car over, move positions, and now we've got everyone charging again. This is the only one that's out of position. But this one, as I say, if it's going to be here much longer, could well get a very unwelcome fee. Officially, I've got about 10 minutes of charging time left, but because I don't actually need it, I'm going to pull out because it's so busy. We've had a word with one of the Tesla drivers who can't charge because of the arrangement. So I'm going to pull out, he's going to come in. Simple as that. So all we're doing is, let's go over here. So technically I could have stayed charging until I got to my limit, which is set to trip here because we're out on a road trip. But I've only lost about 20 or 30 miles and I can easily get home with that, so I don't need to sit and wait. So common courtesy says, if I don't need to be here, I'll move. And we've allowed another car to charge. He might be in a desperate hurry to get somewhere. I know he's been here for a while, but we also just heard that the Hyundai at the end, it is still charging, so he's not into, or she, not into idle fees at this stage. Well, people often tell me it only takes 5 minutes to fill my car, my petrol car, with petrol at a petrol station. And we know, because most of us have driven petrol cars or diesel cars for most of our lives. But they need 5 minutes because they're filthy, stinking places. You get grease on you, everything. They don't want to be there 5 minutes. What we're seeing here is a huge amount of community. The drivers chat to each other. They compare cars. They, like we've done, we'll move our car. If we don't need to charge here, someone else will pull in. Now, this is a great location because right opposite the chargers, we have parking spaces. So if anyone does get here and the chargers are full, they can park right in front and they'll see and immediately one becomes vacant, and they will also be able to nip in there quickly before anyone else nips in. But it's really this, why is there this rush to get 5 minutes petrol? It really is self-induced. That there is no need. You see, here most of the people will be shopping, or they'll go to the restaurant, or they'll go to the garden centre. It's pretty much all you do here. So why is there a rush? Now, my car, it was only here, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. I just needed a small top-up charge because we've come a fair distance. We could have just got home with what we had, but we're going to be doing a bit more driving around, so I decided to top it up. But that's the beauty. You can just nip in, top it up a little bit on your way, and you don't block it. Again, what we're seeing here is that Teslas do come and go very quickly, and we've had a bit of a turnaround with 3 cars have been and gone since I've been here. But the shop itself, amazed in there. It's a gorgeous shopping centre, it's a supermarket, it's a good restaurant and a garden centre. Some lovely stuff in there. We'll show you some of the inside photos. We don't film inside for privacy reasons, but this is obviously an amazingly popular location out on the outskirts of Harrogate. Oh, I've told you where we are now. I gave you the 3 little words, but we're on Harrogate. So this is it, and we've now got a Tesla Model X has pulled in, who's going to be charging here. And luckily, they've now got a row of 5 cars all charging on the rear left-hand side. So it all works now. It's only the end one, but there's a spare bay at the end. So that one is actually in use with a right-hand charging flap on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. So this now is working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, 6 bays. Everything's working. Now we go to so many of these charging hubs with Osprey and Ionity and Instabolt where they're absolutely deserted. This is quite the opposite. This is absolutely jam-packed, and this is one of those definitely that could benefit from additional chargers. Now the beauty with that would be when they are installed, and I'm sure they'll be looking at this one and installing more because the demand is clearly here. They now only install the V4 chargers, not the old V3s. And the V4 chargers, for those of you who don't know, they have the ultra long cable. So whichever side your charging flap is on doesn't matter anymore with a V4. The other advantage of the V4 is they're going to be 1,000 volt capable. There are no cars that do that yet, but 1,000 volt capable and 500 watts. And that means that the likes of the Ioniq the Ioniq 5 over there, that's capable of charging way faster than it is at the moment. These, it'll be lucky to be getting about 150, 200 kilowatts here. When it goes on to the V4, those will rocket up to about 300, something like that. They're very, very fast chargers. So there's a great location here for additional chargers. The only thing from the owner's point of view at Wheaton's, it might take up a few extra parking spaces, and they have to balance that with the business it brings from people coming to charge here. That's their job. I would expect to see at some point in the future some additional chargers here. So there we go. That's all from the Tesla Supercharger at Harrogate outside Wheaton's car park. I'm Dave.